we have a PlayStation 2 that is not working. The disk drive doesn't spin. I did get into this a little bit off camera, but it was under weird circumstances. This is a friend of mine's PlayStation 2. I did it at their house with none of my tools, 3 hours away from my tools. And I had like beauty tweezers instead of this kind of tweezers for messing with ribbon cables. So I am going to try again here before I go ahead and buy a new disk drive, because I do think that it's hopefully just like a loose ribbon cable or something like that. We're going to try just cleaning it up, because you'll see, I mean, you can kind of see already it's a bit dirty. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the outside a little bit before we dive in. Man, that dirt is really on there. In theory, it's better. Okay, I'm not going to clean up too much the rest of this. Honestly, the bottom looks fine. The fan has definitely seen some better days, but we'll clean that up once we get inside. Taking off the rubber feet and whatever you want to call these. I guess they're just screw covers. The hard plastic ones. Then we don't actually need a tri-wing for this. I am so thankful that at least on the PS1 and PS2, you don't need anything but a Phillips head. A couple of Phillips heads. Just got to remember that this is fan facing me, because some of these screws are different. And then I will use my iFixit bit that is much more magnetized. And it was funny, I actually got to break the warranty sticker on this when I did mess with it before. But and that still has quite a bit of dust in there. Better. Okay. Carefully lifting this up and pulling it out. This is a very dusty PS2, as you can see. So I'm going to take a minute to just suck up some dust. I'll do a little time lapse. I've got my vacuum here. I'm going to take my drink out of the way. And yeah, I'll be back in a second. Okay, that's much, much better looking. Let's get the disk drive taken out here. I think we need to take these, like the fan screws out. Oh, and there's not a screw there. Maybe that's where one of the, yep, that's where one of the long screws goes. Good to know. I'll put that one screw over there. And I think that's it. Oh, there's one over here. Okay, now we should be able to take this whole piece out. Still no, because we still have sticker holding us back. So let's just cut the rest of our warranty sticker. Whew, man. Okay, well, I guess we'll continue to tear down the rest of this thing then. And I think that's it for this whole piece. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, time to get the vacuum out again. Holy shnikes, dude. Okay. I think that's as much cleaning as we really need to do. There are a few more screws that we could get to, but for now, I'm just going to leave it at this. And I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. How do you disconnect this one? You just pull it. Oh, that's like locked. Okay. Pull up on that latch. Remove that for now. Get this dangly piece out of my way. Man, that's still so dusty. Shane, man, killing me. I think there will be more vacuuming in a second. I really hope I'm wrong. Okay. I know there's a clip in this piece of metal here, and I think now we could hopefully get this off. That might... okay. Here we go. We can pull the power plug thing out, and then we can pull this out. Then we can lift this up. Look how much just dust is right in that corner. That's crazy. Then we need to get the clip that's up here. Pop that somehow. Okay. Careful, because there are a ton of ribbon cables attached here, and we've already unplugged a few. So let's flip this to the side, and let's just unplug all of these. I said, let's just unplug all of these. Okay. Whew. Let's do a little more dusting. Dude, I have actually never seen such a dusty console. I've fixed a lot of consoles. This is by far the dustiest I have ever seen a console. And this is only, what, not even 25 years old yet. My goodness. Okay. I think I will tear this down all the way just to clean it up. If you're following along with this, just don't touch any of the stuff here with your fingers, please. Or tweezers, just don't touch this board. This is the power supply. Don't touch it. Okay, that just fell out. I didn't want it to fall out, but guess what? Yes, I know it could cause some static electricity and could short something, but I really, really don't think it's a problem. So that's why I'm doing it this way. It's much easier, and you've seen how much dust is in this thing. It's genuinely ridiculous. I'm gonna put the power supply and everything off to the side, and I think from here we can actually disassemble this the rest of the way. We can take the hard drive bay out. Well, we've got a ton of little screws. I don't want to take care of the little screws. I just want to take it apart, man. But I think I don't have a choice. Are these identical screws? I sure hope so. Oh, well, that one fell. Okay, that's a different screw. I'm sure it's matching the one that I just dropped. Okay, now, nope, there's a third one, or a fifth one, I guess. Those three match. Now are we good? There's more underneath the plastic piece, of course. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 under here. These better all be the same size, man. I'm also going to try to unplug the fan here. It's not looking good though. Yep, I just ripped the wires out of the fan. Nice. There's not an easy way to remove these connectors. There just isn't. So I owe him a new fan. Like seriously, how am I supposed to get this out? I can't, because you're not supposed to pull it by the wires, but okay, there are no wires for me to pull now. How do I get this out? I'm breaking the entire connector. Oh, I'm bleeding. Okay, the problem solved. Connector just ripped off, so I can just hardwire the fan in there anyways. Still got a couple more screws to go. Stop using tiny freaking connectors on these boards. Please and thank you. Okay, all of this just to tear it open, just to get this piece off that is also covered in dust. Are we shocked? No. How? Okay, whatever. I can at least say it's not the most disgusting console I've ever seen, but it's definitely the dustiest. I am going to replace the clock battery since we're in here, and it's a giant pain in the butt. Even though it does have one of these connectors, it's not soldered in. Even without all the dusting, this was a pain in the butt just to get to the clock battery. So Shane is lucky that I have two. Oh man, and I just broke that. I did not remove that correctly. That's all right. It'll still stay in. Ooh, will it? Oh no. I see. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't pop out anymore. But now that we're in here, we can take a look and see that this cable right here, which I'm pretty sure is the cable, the ribbon cable for the disk drive, is slightly off. These things can just loosen over the years. It just happens. All right. So we're going to lift this and we'll just take it out and look at the pins. Pins look good. See, pins are great. Over on this side, a little dusty, little hair there, but it's good. It's clean. They're good, solid connections. Now we can take the ribbon cable, grab it by the white piece, put it down as far as we can, and then push it in as far as we can. Of course, we're out of focus. Thank you, camera. I love this camera so much. Okay, we're going to push this in as far as we can and then lock it down. It's nice and even looking. Focus! Manual. Okay, you're going in manual focus. You just lost your autofocus privileges. Stupid camera. Okay? See how nice and even that is? That's good. While we're in here, let's take a look at this cable. This is for the controller and memory card ports. Do the same thing, just push it down, lock it down. Boom. We're nice and even there. And from here, we can put the old battery away. I think just in case, I will put some Kapton tape down over this battery. That way it hopefully shouldn't pop out accidentally. Okay, from here, we can attempt to put this back on, which should go something like this. There we go. And we can flip it over to this side. It's a little bit of dust on some of these fuses and such. We can get our other metal piece. Actually, first thing we should do, we're going to take care of the fan. See, our fan connector's right here. So I'm going to take my wire strippers, and these wires are so thin, I don't even think... Oh, okay, I will. I can strip these just barely. I'm assuming that the light gray wire is going to be our positive wire, so I will try and find ground, since I don't actually know which one is which. I'll be doing that with my multimeter. Beep for continuity. Over here, we've got our ground plane, and doing this, we can find that these two poles are ground. So I can just leave this pin like this, and then I can see that the top one is ground, because there's no continuity with this one, but there is with this one. So what we can do, and I'm going to just put flux down everywhere here. With a clean iron, I'm going to first remove the remaining pieces of the connector. Then I'm going to flatten out that old solder. I'm going to put some fresh solder down. Then I'm going to add some fresh solder to the ends of these wires. And then, like I said, pretty sure the black wire is going to be negative. So we can go ahead and solder the black wire, this one here, to this top one. Then we can solder the gray one to the other pad that did not have continuity with any of the ground pins. Oops. And we desoldered the negative in the process. And then we desoldered the positive in the process. There we go. And I'm going to use some more Kapton tape to cover that up. Honestly, should probably use some hot glue so those wires don't get moved or anything. And actually, I think I will. Hold up. I'm actually going to have to do the hot glue off camera because it just barely doesn't reach. I guess I am lying to you. You're just not going to see it that well. I actually need to get another stick out because we're at the very bitter end here. And that's really all you need. I'm now realizing that there's only a little hole for these wires to go through. I said that's all you need, but I do want to make it a little flatter, get more around the edge, I mean, because I don't want the wires being ripped out. That should be enough, and I do actually think that this will be a problem, because, yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a problem. It shouldn't be a problem at all. Okay, it's good enough to touch. I just want to flatten it out, then rip off the stringies. Cool. I don't think this will actually be a problem. We should be able to get this back on somehow. I don't know how to put this back on. Okay, that looks right. And then we can get the other half on, back on, I should say. Okay, there we go. We got one screw in. Let's do it from another angle. I actually don't know if that was the right screw or not. No, it was not. Okay, I'll put this screw in, and then I'll move this one into the correct spot. Gosh dang it, these batteries just don't last. I love when the camera, if the camera loses power, then it loses the spot where it was focused on. Digital focusing, so stupid. Give me my analog technology back. Okay, plates are back on. What's next? I think we put this back on over here. Take our power supply carefully, grab it by pieces that don't have any electrical components, any shiny things, like this. Oh yeah, we gotta plug it in like that. Gotta plug into those 4 pins that were sitting there, and then I think we've got some screws to screw in, I should say. I think now we can take this and put it in here, slot this back in, try to slide this back in. Okay, for some reason, the optical port does not look like it's optimally placed, but it's not really my problem right now. I'm not going to worry about the controller port quite yet. I am going to worry about the disk drive, which I want to do one last opening of the disk drive by taking the top off. I believe it's only these 2 screws. Let's see how dusty it is on the inside of this. Okay, and there are tabs in here. These are plastic tabs, so be careful. Yeah, it's also pretty dang dusty in here. This could also be the reason why this thing isn't working. There's a nice layer. There is a nice layer of dust over that. But I'm going to go ahead and just flick the dust off camera. And I'm remembering the reason why I use the vacuum. So I'm going to do it with this piece over here. Because dust flies everywhere. And I'm allergic to dust. It is actively trying to kill me right now. I'm also going to grab a fresh... Oh, wow. The camera is way off kilter. I'm going to go ahead and grab a fresh Q-tip here. We'll zoom in here for. I'm going to get this nice and wet with some IPA. Not spraying the laser, but spraying the Q-tip. And then we're going to hold this in position. Wipe this thing down because the dust didn't really want to suck off or be brushed off. So we're gently wiping this down, trying to remove all the dust from the laser. And then I'm going to go from the dry end and wipe it down real quick. And honestly, I think it'll work. After seeing all of the dust in there and seeing that loose cable, I think this is just going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the top half back on like so. We will screw the 2 screws back down. And now for the hard part. All of these freaking ribbon cables need to be plugged in to right over here. So I'm going to move this over. We've got this one here. We've got this one here. We've got this one here. We got this one here. And then this has to go back into the laser, which is going to be a fun one to do. So I'm actually going to try and start with the one that goes into the laser. I'm going to pop these open. This is going to be actually really hard to put back together. I may even take this top back off because I think it'll give me a little more of an advantage to plug these in. So I'll try it. It's only 2 screws and 2 clips. Pretty simple. This is going to be hard for you guys to see all of these. I'm going to plug it in like this. Shove it up as far as it will let me. And I think that's as good as it will let me for that one. I'm slightly nervous that I may have let it come out a little bit from the other end. But we can now push this back down. And that'll give us a little bit more room to work with these other ones. I'm going to try and take this whole assembly out of the shell. I think it'll be easier this way. So we can flip this over. Oh, baby, this actually seems like it'll be so much easier. Okay, try and get this in a way where you guys can somewhat see it. This will probably be slightly out of focus for a lot of it. I apologize. I'm doing my best with what I'm given. But I'm going to slot this ribbon cable, this far ribbon cable in as far as I can. There's no latch on this, so it just goes in. Maybe not start with the farthest one. I'm going to try and remove the fan and power assembly here because it is getting in the way. So I'm going to start with this farthest one here. The light does not really shine on here, so you probably can't see what I'm doing, but this wire plugs into the farthest one. And I'm just pushing on the blue tab because I don't want to actually bend or crease this cable. And I felt it go in, so I think we're good. I'm going to do the same thing for this one here. Line it up and just push the blue part in. I didn't feel like a push, but it definitely, oh, nope. I'll just come back when something happens, I guess. Okay, that was incredibly not satisfying to plug in, but it feels locked. Okay, and then the last one is this orange one over here for the drive motor. And this is probably the hardest one to plug in because there is no blue tab for it. So I'm actually going to try and lock the drive into place here so the drive doesn't wiggle around anymore. And I'm going to use my tweezers to try and plug this in. And that feels like it's in, kind of. Okay. I think they're all as in as they will be. So getting this back out, flip it the correct way. Before we fully slot it in, we got to slot this whole bracket into place. Oh, I'm out of focus. And then we should, keyword is should, be able to slot all of this back into place. Yeah, the optical part just doesn't seem like, maybe I bent it. It just doesn't seem like it's correct. We also have a couple of screws to screw down. Now we can plug the controller ports back in. Should be just as simple as plugging it in, making sure it's even, latch it down, store the ribbon cable in this like little space down below. Okay, I forgot more than a couple of screws along the way. It's okay. Everything seems locked in. It's okay, he tells himself, so he can continue on. And then we will pop this back into place. I'm just confident that this is going to work. And I'm going to do the lazy way of testing to start here. I'm going to go grab a couple of games. Okay, the lazy way is moving that off to the side. This isn't technically the right connector, but it doesn't matter. Plug that in. We've got a red light here. I've got 3 discs. We've got a black PS1 disc. We've got a silver God of War disc, PS2 disc, and we've got a blue PS2 disc. Now, the lazy way is seeing if this just spins and then spins forever. If it spins for like a minute or so, then we're good. I just don't want to set up the whole output to TV mode and all that stuff. I will obviously test this later off camera, and if it doesn't work, then this isn't the end of the video. There's nothing in there. We'll start with Namco Museum, and it's spinning, and it's really spinning now. Let's go. Okay, I'll give it a minute here. Okay, it's still spinning. It's humming. It's awesome. I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to eject. Blue discs work great. We'll try God of War. Pop that in there. While this is going, I'll go ahead and put in the expansion thing. We're not going to be modding this or anything. I'll dust this off real quick. It's like quietly spinning, but it's not like whirring up like Pac-Man was, I guess, Namco Museum. So I'll hit reset on there. I'll have to check that off camera. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can't tell if it's like trying to spin, or if it's like actually spinning and that's just a click that it's doing. So I'm going to go test this off camera real quick. So everything worked but PlayStation games. So we're going to try and fix that today. I actually have to open this bad boy back up. So what we're going to do is we are just going to tear down the disk drive. We don't need to tear this down any further than we already have. There are 2 things that I want to try. I guess 3. I want to try moving this more into frame. But 2 things I want to try is there's more cleaning that can be done to the laser, or to the lens, I should say, that I was unaware of. And there's also a way we can slide this out, maybe, so we can test this. Man, even this has a layer of dust on it. I just don't understand how so much dust gets in there. Okay, I guess I don't need Rayman because I've got the Hollywood video copy of Phantom Menace. But one of the things, which I think will actually work, is cleaning the lens again. And that's because I learned that you can actually clean the underside of the lens. And with how much dust we've seen in this thing, I think there's probably still some dust underneath. Because even after I cleaned this yesterday, it still looks like it's a little dusty. So I can get some IPA on here and wiggle this around all I want. And it still just like looks like it has a little bit of a dust layer on it. So actually, one thing I'm going to do is just for a second, I'm going to turn this on so we can eject it. And then I'm going to turn it off. Look how much more dust is in here. That's got to be something with this, okay? That has to have some implications here. So guess what I'm going to do again? I know that may look a little counterintuitive because I was like blowing canned air and vacuuming, but it was just to maintain the dust a little bit, hopefully. Probably didn't do anything, but like I said, dust doesn't like me. It tries to kill me. So even after just doing that, I'm kind of tempted to just test it. So I think I will. I'm going to put the disc in, and then we can turn the power back on. I forgot you have to have the magnet on there. So we'll see. It's trying to find it, and it's spinning fast. Oh, still trying to find it, maybe? I guess we'll see. If it ever stops spinning, then we know it's not working. Part of me thinks it's working. It's a lot easier to tell when you have a display output. I'm going to say it's working. I think it was literally just not cleaned enough, which is crazy to say after how much cleaning I did yesterday. Okay, this has been spinning long enough, and I'm too lazy to set up a way to record the video right now. So I'll just throw up some like clips from my phone of it playing a PS1 game, a PS2 game with the blue disc, and a PS2 game with the silver disc. I think there's a couple more types of discs that this can play, but I feel now that I've cleaned the disc drive even more, it is just going to work. Please, for the love of God, dust around your consoles. Now more than ever.